These shoes.
These gloves.
Because I need something as reliable as I am.
Because they keep me light on my feet.
Because my hands are my tools.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up.
The hours are long.
My body wants to quit. But I'm proud.
It's who I am.
It's my grind. This is our coffee. And this is how it lives.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy start of the football season. Didn't go great for some of us, but it went pretty well for others. But I hope everybody is having a great weekend. This is THS Wrestling presents That Wrestling Show. My name is John, and I am joined by Neeson. Neeson, hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
How's it going?
It's a going. How's it going with you?
I'm doing pretty well. Clearly, this room is clean now because it's opened up a little bit. If you can't tell,
you don't got
no
the black,
no black curtain right here,
right?
Because there's nothing on the couch anymore.
This makes sense.
So we opened it up. We opened it up a little bit. Watch some football. Jets lost. That's fine.
Fair.
They looked awful in the first half. They looked a lot better in the second half, so they made adjustments. We know they can do that, so let's just try and stay positive on that side.
Well, I will say the Rams are on right now. Matthew Stafford looks incredible. Johnny, your Lions.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, what an opening. Wow. Stafford, his first game is as a Ram is against his old team.
Oh, no. His first game is against Chicago Bears, to be exact. And he's beating the Bears' ass. But what I'm saying is, Parker, you lost your quarterback, and all that talk about how the Lions were good, or they weren't good because of him.
Oh, boy. Well.
Shout out to LA teams.
Well. All right, guys. You're either watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. We appreciate you joining us from wherever you are joining us. Make sure you also check out our Instagram, instagram.com/ths.wrestling. We got a couple of topics we're going to talk about today. We're not going to really recap any wrestling today. We just there's some stuff that's going on, and one thing that's going on is breaking news that just broke about 2 hours ago. Samoa Joe put out a video on his Instagram, and he said that he has suffered an injury, and he is relinquishing that title that he just won about 3 weeks ago. And he basically said, we're ushering in a new era, and I'm not going to be able to compete. So let's usher in that new era with a new champion. I think my first reactions again are, well, this sucks. And we talked a little bit about it off air, and I said, I don't really think he's injured. But then you said
WWE doesn't play with those things. If he was injured, if he wasn't injured, they would just have him literally lose in like a squash match or something.
Or he would, he's in the NXT parking lot, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
There. So
Exactly. Well, now we don't know what parking lot he's in anymore. You know, it's a different structure. It's a different parking lot.
That's true. It is a different parking lot. We don't know anymore.
We don't know.
So I guess, you know, just general reaction, we will treat this as is, because WWE is usually pretty upfront about those things. This sucks. Samoa Joe, you know, he was on the main roster. He gets released. He gets brought back as seemingly someone who's just going to be an enforcer. But then he gets in the ring. He wins the championship. And now he has to let it go once again. Neeson, how you feeling about this right now?
I mean, I feel how everybody else feels. It sucks, but I hate to be that person to continually attack the wrestling fans. But man, like, and I know you, like, your first thought, everybody's first thought is negativity. And our group chat, or even the internet, I'm sorry, like Twitter was just like, fuck Vince McMahon. I'm like, what? They're like, Bruce Pritchard is ruining NXT already. Guys, it's an injury. Like, this man has been on the show for quite some time already due to concussions and other things. And he had one damn like physical match, right? Like, it was a pretty physical match. And it kind of reminds me of when we seen Edge at the last WrestleMania 2011 versus Del Rio. And he had his match. Everything was good the next week. And then we didn't see him for about a week or so. And then he came out and basically was like, hey, I have to retire. Right? Like, Samoa Joe was not physical for the last 2 weeks. And remember, those last 2 weeks of NXT were taped. 4 weeks, really, I think, of NXT were taped Monday after TakeOver. One was taped Monday after TakeOver, and 2 episodes was taped on Tuesday after TakeOver.
Right.
So that means he was, you know, they were figuring out his injuries via that time. Like, something happened, and they probably were hoping to get some type of clearance within that 3 weeks before the big reveal on Tuesday. And they had to announce it going into Monday because they're going to advertise the shit out of it on Monday Night Raw. But it's not like anybody's going to be watching Monday Night Raw to advertise it. We'll get to that later. But yeah, that just hurt me, man. Like, it continues to hurt. Like, when I see us wrestling fans online continue just to like talk shit for no reason. Like, come on, guys. It's not Bruce Pritchard's fault. It's not Vince McMahon's fault. It's clearly an injury. Let's use our critical thinking skills, guys, and not just jump on it's Vince, it's Bruce, it's whatever, Pat McAfee, whoever else you want to blame.
Oh, Pat McAfee.
Well, you know, Pat McAfee's my guy. I want to have a beer with Pat McAfee.
He's been on one today.
Today?
Football? Yeah, it's been great all day.
Oh my God.
All day.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so I don't think they've announced what they're going to do with obviously they're going to hold the championship up, and they'll probably have like a 4-way or some mini tournament. And I assume that's going to be start on this week's new revamped NXT. We talked about the logo, and we've gotten these little like previews where it looks like it's all it looks interesting. The seating arrangement looks very interesting. And we've talked about the new logo and all the paint and what's that going to look like. How are you feeling going into this new NXT? I know there's a lot of rumors circulating about who's doing what. I know they also just let go a bunch of their people from their production team for NXT, which is another, just another sign, possibly. We're looking to find money to make the books look good. How are you feeling going into this new era of NXT? Are you excited? Do you like the new overall look? Do you like, we still haven't seen the overall look, but from these teaser images that they're showing, do you have high hopes?
I have high hopes within the realms of WWE. I think, you know, with every one thing that stays constant is change, right? Change is forever constant. It's always going to be the thing. I was upset because I liked the old custom black and gold, grungy kind of low lights, but it's WWE, and they want it. If you're gonna, when they do something that isn't a soft change, it's usually a hard flip.
Right.
And I think now we're looking at that hard flip. I think, you know, it was dark and gold, you know, dark and grungy. Let's brighten it up. I see. It looks like and the reason I say it looks like the Thunderdome setup just with chairs is because if we go back to the last Thunderdome when the entrance was smaller with the big screen in the back, that's exactly what this looks like to me. Is like, well, we don't have the picture of the entrance on this one, but it's like smaller with the just higher rise chairs. It's going to feel like an in-studio vibe with screens in the back. So, I mean, I'm very interested to see how this is going to, and not to compare, but just how is it going to feel watching this and then watching AEW Dark? Because they just had their tapings in Orlando. Right. So I just want to see the feels, and then we also have Impact that was taping down, in Orlando as well. Our TNA that was taping down in Orlando as well. That's taping in Nashville now, I believe. So yeah, I just want to see how it feels, but I have high hopes. I do. We see the different change that NXT is going with. We see the characters they had. What's her name? Used to be Darby Allin's girlfriend. Gigi is her name in NXT. Yeah. She have Gigi on the main thing. They have Amber Moon on the main thing. They have Carmelo Hayes on the main thing. So you see that it's a different change. I hate NXT 2.0. I hate it. I think that name is corny. Like, I hate it. Like,
that's
NXT 2.0. Like, it's just trash. Well, what do you think, man?
So I think because you were describing the black and gold brand and how it looks, and then we look at this. I'm always reminded of my favorite, not my favorite change, but do you remember when Hot Topic was first Hot Topic?
Yes.
And it was like you were almost afraid to go in there because it was super dark. They only played like death metal or like sludge metal or anything like that. It's always smelled like incense no matter where you were in the entire store. Yep. And everything was black and had chains on it. And then all of a sudden, not overnight, but a little, like, it was like, hey, welcome to Hot Topic. And it's like, why is it well lit in here? What's happening? Why are you playing Fallout Boy? I don't understand.
Why is anime in here? What's
why
going
are there
on,
colors? Yeah, why are there colors in here? It has that kind of vibe, but also it's still Hot Topic, so I do still go in there and check out what's going on in there.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, I will tune in. I will tune in and check this out and see what's going on.
Jimmy, behave yourself.
Full NXT set will look cool.
Yourself.
But
behave yourself, Jimmy.
Hey,
you're better than that. Come on, man.
Priscilla Kelly, yes, absolutely. But yeah, we'll see here. I don't. Honestly, I'm interested to see how it looks and see how it feels. I wonder, they haven't talked about doing any announcer changes, right? It's just the look.
Yeah, no, just the look. I think they have with Stu, with I want to say Stu Bennett, with Wade Barrett as the color commentator. You got Beth Phoenix as another color commentator, and I think Vic Joseph is doing an amazing job. I think they're pretty solid there. I'd be interested if they do decide to do a change there, but we're looking at networks, like looking at things. WWE is going to lean heavy into what they do best, and what they do best is creating stars. They don't, they don't know how to really capitalize off of stars that's already created. But they do know how to create stars. And I think that's what we're going to see moving forward. I mean, Rick the Steiner kid. Yeah, Rex Steiner is he has a name now. Like that's a badass name, Rex Steiner. It's gonna be. You have some legit pedigreed athletes coming up
and
in NXT.
The Creed brothers, is that
the Creed brothers?
Dude,
that's their name.
I'm in on that. They're part of Diamond Mine, right?
They're part of Diamond Mine.
I'm in on that.
Diamond Mine forever. I'm in on anything that Malcolm Bivens has. But let's see. Talent rehearsal for NXT is tomorrow, but they still don't know how Tuesday would actually go. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I think it's great to not know how something new is gonna go, right? I think that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
At least to me, like if I'm a talent, like I'm like, hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an optimistic guy. I feel like there's a lot of pessimistic things, but it's optimism. And also we know it's WWE, guys. Like they're not going to do anything different. Like now with AEW, they don't have to do anything different.
Well, I mean, that brings us to our next topic. Is the Elite the new NWO, or are they better than the NWO? And we're not saying like as in, we're saying as in they've moved the needle, is what we're saying. We're not
the
going
Elite
to sit here and
effect.
be like this person is this person and that person is that person. We're saying more of like the movement of the Elite, especially with the addition of Adam Cole. And we've heard, we talked about WWE a little bit, but the match that was supposed to happen at Extreme Rules, which I believe was Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley, has been moved to tomorrow night. And the rumor and innuendo is that is a direct correlation to AEW winning the demo. The 18-35,
18-49.
Oh, the 18-49 demo.
Yeah,
just like straight up just beating WWE in it,
beating them.
So, I mean, we've heard on conference calls, we've heard Vince, we'll give them more wrestlers. And they don't really see it as competition, but if this is true, I think maybe they might want to walk that back a little bit. So we're talking mainly about the Elite. Do we think they are in the same realm as the NWO was for WCW? Like, do they move the needle enough? Will this shift the tides? I'm asking you.
Oh, I thought you're still going. Yeah, all of AEW. Wait, now I'm just all thrown off. The Elite. I call this the Elite effect. They are much more bigger than NWO. Now, let me explain this and what I mean by this. Yes, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall showing up to Nitro when people didn't really, the dirt sheets weren't really as big. People are like, what's going on? We seen them on WWF. Why are they here? And then Hogan turning heel. Oh my God, like this thing and just this cool factor when we were living in such a prism of characters, over the top characters and cartoony gimmicks, shifted the whole landscape of wrestling. I completely understand why people think that NWO is bigger than the Elite, but I will say this. The Elite, and you could add Bryan Danielson, you could add CM Punk into there. They have not only shifted the landscape of wrestling, but they're able to create a 24-hour cycle of news and talk piece about wrestling. Back then in the 90s, you had to wait to the next day to talk about this with your friend or at work, your coworker, or at school, etc. you're now tweeting about it as it happens. It is now gaining momentum. It is now trending. There has been an AEW wrestler trending in the top 20s for the last like month or so. Like that's called shifting the narrative. That is called moving the needle. 200,000 buys for a pay-per-view that costs what, $50 or $60? I think that's like 10 million to anywhere between 10 to 15 million dollars just from buys. Like, that's moving the needle, guys. And then the last thing, what we've seen is Raw. They beat Raw. Not only did they beat all other wrestling but they beat Raw in the main demographic of which advertisers buy from, and that's 18 to 49. Yes, and the only thing that Raw can't do is jump back to the well of, oh, we got to go to people like Randy Orton. Instead, when they had somebody like a Adam Cole, Bay right in their pockets, and instead you wanted to make him, quote, maybe make him a heel manager, put him next to Keith Lee or something. Like, that's why the Elite are bigger than the NWO. Like, Young Bucks toured around the world, made millions of dollars without WWE. The name, you had stars tweeting out the picture of Matt Jackson with the Travis Scotts and the thumbtacks. Mm-hmm. Everybody talking about it. It was on ESPN. It was on of course Bleacher Report. It was everywhere. These guys are rock stars. Now, off the NWO's back, for sure, 1,000%. But these guys are rock stars. These guys are the Miami Heat of wrestling. These guys are traveling villains that people will love to come and see and boo and pay respect to. They're definitely bigger than the NWO.
Wow. I mean, I think it would. I think I agree. They're at least on par. I would have to maybe go back and like really dig into it, but it feels that big. I'll tell you right now. How many times did you watch the ending of All Out? Because I've watched it at least. I've watched it over a dozen times. Anytime someone mentions it to me, I go, "Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that back." I just watch it back again because it's just such a big and special moment. Mm-hmm. It feels big, and it was big, mm-hmm. and it's showing in the ratings that it was big.
I got a question. When's the last time you felt like that from WWE?
Oh, we discussed that a little bit. Well, boy, when was the last time I felt like that with WWE? I think the Kofi win. We talked about that. I think the Kofi win for me. Honestly, before that, I watched the brawl when the SmackDown women and the Raw women, and Becky got her nose broke. I watched that a bunch of times. And then Edge's return, I watched that a bunch. But I feel like the time where I was like, "Oh, this is amazing," at the time when ECW came back into the WCW versus WWE stuff, when all the guys got into the ring and then turned their back, and Paul Heyman was on commentary. My friend Kyle called me. I wasn't watching it; I was taping it, and he was like, I think I was like at a friend's house down the street, and he called me and he's like, "Dude," I was like, "What?" And he just put his phone up to the TV so I could hear it. And I looked at my friend. I'm like, "I gotta go," and I ran out the door and ran home. I ran all the way home. I gotta go. So that was another moment where I, like watched that over and over again. That felt big, but nothing like on the scale of the Elite, of all Elite Wrestling. I mean, they double debuted us. That shit doesn't happen.
Exactly. I think that's the thing, right? I think WWE had a chance to have these moments and they're all about giving us moments, but they're about giving us moments within the confines of their universe per se. And I mean, we had the AJ Styles moment. That was a time where I watched over
the
and
AJ
over again. The AJ Styles moment
Yes.
was that time. It's crazy that Samoa Joe debuting on the main roster and wrecking Seth's knee. I think I've watched that over when Kevin Owens winning the Universal Championship. That was a moment for me as well.
Yeah.
Like we're just like, I just remember being like, what? They're going with it. And I don't like, and you feel the difference when that happens. And I think when we had that, when All Elite or when Elite AEW, when they was able to do a double debut and just that swerve of having Adam Cole come out and then just playing the first licks of Flight of the Valkyrie and having everybody in a ring like, what? And then everybody, and you felt the crowd like realize what it was. Like the crowd just popped when they heard the music. It was like, and then they realized it was Flight of Valkyrie, like, and it just like ramped up. Yeah, that just gives me goosebumps thinking about it, because it's a thing of like, you believe a person by not what they say but what their actions, and WWE keeps saying they give us what they will listen to the fans and give the fans what they want. Now, AEW is literally giving the fans what they want in front of our face, hands down. They're doing it. Again, that's making them more elite. That is making the elite time and time again 2 steps above and beyond. Because even with the NWO, they didn't really give us what we wanted. They just were just these cool people like that were going around beating up people, and that was too good for WCW. But I don't remember even feeling like after the debuts and stuff, like I don't remember feeling like, oh my God, like this is still, this thing. It was just like, oh yeah, that's the NWO. Oh wow, they did this. Oh, they threw Rey Mysterio against a truck. Oh, they spray painted this person. Oh, they did, like, it's like, oh, okay, cool. But not like just the big, everything is must see. Like we're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega.
We're gonna get Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole.
Baby.
I guarantee that's Hangman's first.
Oh no,
it's his first feud.
A few. I think it's Jungle Boy.
Hangman.
No,
I'm saying when Hangman comes back.
Oh, Hangman comes back. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. It has to be. It has to be. It has to be. You have to work your way back up through the elite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And I mean, we talk about this, but I will say, WWE for the time being, they're putting a lot of work in the Smackdown. We talk about moments. There were moments throughout this. It's Madison Square Garden. They always go all out for it. And this show was no exception. We started off with the tribal chief telling us he runs New York. I run New York. I run MSG.
Does WWE run New York? Yes.
They still do, yeah.
Until what, next week? When AEW does Arthur Ashe, it was like 20,000 people plus to the stadium.
Yep.
But who runs WWE? The head of the table, the tribal chief.
Now this was great. I mean, we talk about SmackDown being the #1 show, being WWE's best show, and I mean, I don't think there's any doubt there should be any doubt in anybody's mind what the #1 show for WWE is, and it is. Derek, what's up, man? It's okay. It's football. We figure everyone's just watching football.
It's football, baby. Yeah, we understand. It's football. People could catch up on the show later. We understand.
Yeah, no worries. But we're talking about SmackDown right now. We started the show. Brock comes out, gets in the Bloodline's face, and then he says, Paul, I have one question for you. Why didn't you tell him that I was going to be at SummerSlam? And then, of course, Bloodline leaves the ring. And then we get the tease, like, well, I guess I'm with Brock again. And then, you know, he does the whole intro, and Brock's on the mic. He's like, wow, this is great. But one thing, before Roman Reigns fires you, I need you to accept the challenge. And he says he wants to challenge Roman for the title. He's about to F5 Paul Heyman, but the Bloodline makes the save. And I think it's really interesting because Paul's going to turn. You think Paul's going to turn on Roman? I mean, let me just say this other thing. We get that backstage where the Usos are like, we're going to go take care of business. Our match is up next. And we get that little thing in the back with Roman and Paul where he goes, I saved you. Like, why would you? Roman is just, we talked about his, I think when Cena, pinned him on the go home segment, his facial expressions are on a different level right now. He is just, when the Usos almost lost that near fall, or when I think Dawkins kicked out of the Uso splash, the confusion on his face was just, it's great. And I think one of the big reasons SmackDown is the #1 show is because they have the #1 guy on it with the #1 storyline. I think you've said before, like, if there's one thing WWE is doing right, it's Roman. So, I mean, Derek posed the question, do you think Heyman's going to turn on Roman?
No, I think everybody's been tested with the family, right? The bloodline. You had Jay, you had Jimmy. Now it's Paul's turn. And when the tribal chief, the head of the table, says he saved you, he is not talking about he saved you in that punch. He's talking about he saved you from the land of obscurity. He saved you and brought you back to the island of relevancy. No, I don't say words. He brought you back.
Yeah.
And that's what he's like. It's a thing about just think about in speech. If I'm able to say so much with so little, that's so powerful, right? And Roman has that. And it doesn't surprise me that this storyline is the best thing going really to me in wrestling, besides like what is the elite doing next sort of thing.
Right.
But this is the best storyline going in wrestling. Like, you have Paul Heyman, you have Roman Reigns that comes from a pedigree of just great wrestlers. You have Bruce Pritchard. I know people shitting on Bruce Pritchard nowadays, but these are the people that have their hands in their pockets of this show. I mean, of this storyline in particular. Yeah. And they're not, and Roman is very adamant on speeches like, look, nothing gets past us if we don't like it. We're just not gonna do it. And we see it. And I think with this Brock thing, is Brock a face, as Derek says? Look, pony hair Brock is amazing. Straight from Saskatchewan, Texas, Canada. That's somewhere up where Justin is, right? I don't know Canada. It's all the same to me. That's somewhere by
turning heel on Canada.
Turning heel on Canada. It's by Minnesota. I know it's by Minnesota. I think I love it. I think he is going to be a face. This is the perfect way, but not just a face, but just a badass. And the setup, I don't think Paul Heyman actually told, or Brock told Paul Heyman he was going to be on at SummerSlam, right? It was a setup. It was a setup to
mind games, like you said.
Yeah,
it's all mind games.
It's all mind games, and so it's amazing what we're going to. Man, I think we're going to see a thing of like Heyman leaning towards turning on Roman, but then at the end of the day being right next to Roman. Now, also, they just put out T-shirts with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns and Usos.
Well, so, I mean, we also got those Y2AJ shirts, and that
was great. That
lasted like a week.
But it was a simple print. It was just literally Y2AJ.
Yeah.
It's just Y2.
We should have
known. We should have known that was coming.
Yeah. Oh man. We'll get back to Roman in a little bit here. Another pretty big moment was the Edge Seth match. Seth gets the win via curb stomp, and we're doing the old injury angle with Edge. And I thought another interesting thing besides, this, I love Edge's gear. Edge's gear is amazing. Was the weird look of concern on Seth Rollins' face.
Bro.
So I don't know what it's interesting because it's like, where are we going with this? Isn't the end shot, it's just a cool shot that I found, but Seth just sitting in the corner, not like going like or doing anything ridiculous, literally just being like, oh, I think I just killed a man. I mean, it wasn't exactly the gym face, but it was close. He was like, wow, like maybe I took this too far. So another wrinkle in that. What did you think of that? What did you think of that moment? That was like a pretty interesting moment, I thought. Like, good storytelling.
I loved it, and I also loved the backstage interview after, when they had to load Edge into the paramedic truck and take him out. And after, he had an interview right there, and he said, how do you feel about? They asked him, how do you feel about what you just done? And he says, I don't know. Like, I don't. How do you feel? How do you feel about it? I think I feel. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I don't know. My arm's a little banged up. And I was just like, this is amazing. Like, just the master class of psycho that Seth Rollins is going through. Like, he's not battling with like he just killed a man. So he was like, I think I just liked killing someone. Like, it was like one of those moments.
So
and he's like,
you reference an interview that he did when he first started doing this character, to where he said, I don't think I know what it is yet. And maybe he still didn't know what it was fully, and now he's figured out a new wrinkle to this character.
Oh, he's got it.
It's very interesting.
He's got it. I think he found it during Cesaro, doing a whole Cesaro thing. But yes, he's definitely found this wrinkle. Because boy, oh boy, this that after that interview, I was like, I am sold, and I can't wait to part 3, maybe either at Crown Jewel or at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's gonna be at a big show. We know this. It may be even at Royal Rumble, right? Like, they could play this out very long.
They could.
Wherever it is, Seth Rollins and Edge they were meant to fight. They were meant to fight. And shout out to the Michael Jackson gear. I'm going to keep talking about it, that he wore at SummerSlam is my favorite gear that Seth Rollins has ever worn. Can't wait. Can't effing wait.
I agree. I mean, it's great. I mean, I actually like the kind of, I know it's not Bam Bam tribute gear, but I enjoy that.
Oh,
I
the
can't
fire.
remember when he wore that. Yeah, but the flame stuff was
that a WrestleMania?
It feels like it was a WrestleMania.
Was that the one he fought Triple H in?
No, Triple H. He was a White Walker, I feel, right?
Oh yeah, he was a White Walker at WrestleMania 34 with when they were back in when it was an Intercontinental title match.
Oh, right,
triple threat.
Right. Huh.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't remember when he wore the fire stuff.
Wow. Seth is one of the only good things going. I will say this. Seth, Smackdown is the only good thing going in WWE. Like, the show was incredible, guys. If you have not watched the MSG Smackdown yet, and I say incredible, and what WWE does, like, again, WWE is sports entertainment. That is a sport. Smackdown, that show is the pinnacle of sports entertainment. It is entertaining as far as, like, story arc and all that stuff, and then it's wrestling. Like it's wrestling. You had a fire tag team match at the end. You had contract signings that was actually ended in like a non-fight, but that had the line of the show to me, which Becky Lynch saying, I main evented WrestleMania first, and Bianca says mine was better. Like it was better. It absolutely was better. You have Big E on live television saying, yeah, I could keep Roman Reigns, or I could show up on Raw. Ugh. He literally did that. He did that in the middle of MSG.
Yeah. Raw.
And what else happened, Pingle? What else happened?
I mean, we did talk about the contract signing, which I was actually, it's like, oh, it's contract signing. I was very entertained by it, especially, I mean, that we were like, how are they gonna boo Becky Lynch? They're making it work,
man. Sign it,
making it work.
Sign it.
Yeah, it's great. Just give the people something to chant, and they will do it. But the other thing that happened is Sami Zayn brought a friend. You want to talk about this?
Look, Trae Young is now my favorite basketball player currently today. He was already borderlining that during the playoffs, showing up to MSG and being the heel that everybody needs in basketball right now, like waving the fans off. Yeah, like shut up, shushing the fans, like talking, like that's talking to Spike Lee. We haven't had that in basketball for quite some time, especially from a young player. That's been a while. But you showing up to a sold out MSG with your team sweater on and your team pants on. Walk just like it. Let me. Oh my god. It was incredible. And then he actually get involved and he gets
hands on Rey Mysterio.
You on Baby Ray. You put your hands on Baby Ray. My God, man. Look, Trae Young gets it. He it's not going to be his last time in dealing with wrestling. Not. But to be able to walk in the Garden and do that, I was like, gosh, this. That
was perfect. That was the perfect like sports crossover. I'm
perfect.
Sure, like you said, he'll be back, but loved it.
When I guess you always have sports, you have the team come, or you have like Giannis showing up in Milwaukee, or Bobby Portis showing up in Milwaukee. Like they come and like, yeah, of course. Idris Kansas came when he was a part of the Knicks into the Garden last time. Nah, man. You have the villain show up with the villain next to him. Like it was so gold. It was like D-Star said, Sami Zayn was gold in the segment. He was.
Oh my god.
He was. And now WWE, I'm sure, is pulling a Bianca clip and just telling him to sign it. Sign the contract.
We did get one other interesting thing at the end of SmackDown. The Demon has made his return. There he is. He is the Demon. The Usos backing off was a nice little touch. Roman standing his ground. So it looks like we're at Extreme Rules. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus the Demon. So how are you going to feel when Roman Reigns beats the Demon cleanly? How are you going to feel about
the Roman Reigns cannot beat the Demon cleanly? That cannot happen. It can't. It can't. It can't.
It can't.
Table. It cannot.
Don't belong at the table.
No, you don't bring the Demon back after years of being gone just to get beat by Roman Reigns. This is not John Cena. This is not a person that is Teflon that could come back whenever he wants to and people will still cheer and still pop up and still buy things. This is Finn Balor. And unless you're planning on sending Finn Balor to NXT UK like he said he wanted to go to, unless you're planning on sending Finn Balor to G1 like you're going to let Daniel Bryan do, you don't have Roman Reigns beat the Fiend. I mean, to beat the Demon clean in the ring. Now, is this where Paul Heyman comes in? Is this where Brock Lesnar comes in? Are we gonna get a triple threat at Crown Jewel? Like, that's something interesting to me. Like, where it at least has to last about 2 to 3 more months. I don't know what they're gonna do with Survivor Series. Who knows if they're gonna do the team versus team. The draft is coming up in October 1st and the 4th. So, you know, it's a lot of things up in the air, but you cannot, please, WWE, if you listen to anything, not that I say, don't listen to me, because I'm a nobody. I'm just a guy talking on a microphone from home into a web camera. Listen to the people. Listen to the universe, the WWE universe. You did this with the Fiend, and it killed the Fiend. And then you had to literally burn the Fiend.
Don't do this. You had to terminate his contract because you're going to sell to NBC soon, and you need to make the books look good.
Don't do this with the Demon. Please don't do this with the Demon. If you do, that next picture is going to say, KO, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, all elite confirmed. And that's what you don't want to happen.
I feel like isn't Sammy's contract up in October?
Sammy's contract is up, and then Kevin Owens' contract is up
next year, beginning.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Finn's is right after.
We're not a wrestling company. We're a sports entertainment company, owned by Disney now. No.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, Lil Demon. They'll have Lil Demon shirts
Lil Demon fighting Mickey Mouse at WrestleMania 40, guys. Headline. Book it. Don't forget it's the same company that made Bianca lose in 20 seconds. All right. Okay, guys. All right. Jeez.
We got anything else?
So the Demon can lose clean. I hope not, though. No, the Demon isn't gonna lose clean. Man, I just want to say, as a wrestling fan, what a week we had. Just a full week of professional wrestling. I think it was amazing. I think I watched a little bit. I mean, I watched Rampage. But Adam Cole is such a star. He's such a star. Such a my GoFundMe account is open to help me buy all of Adam Cole's merch. Just hit me up. You know, I probably got an Amazon wish list or something on there. I'm gonna get a Pro Wrestling Tees wish list, and just help us out. Nah, man, wrestling. We're just in a great place as fans. Like this is cool. Uncharted waters. Uncharted waters. Jake Atlas and Alex Zane is at Ring of Honor. I think that's really gonna help spark some eyes to Ring of Honor. I think WWE now needs to start looking at. Finn Balor talked about opening a Forbidden Door. He said he really wants to work in New Japan. That's why I brought that up. And with them letting Daniel Bryan go work at New Japan, like I think that's a play. I mean, and with you saying the G1 looks pretty tragic.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it.
Well, you know what you do need to talk about with New Japan? Your boy, and not your boy, is about to join up, Bronson. I forgot his name. What's his name now? Bronson Reed. Yeah. What's his name? Jonah Rock. He is joining up with your boy that's not your boy very soon.
Oh, he's gonna be in that stable.
He Will Ospreay tweeted out, I have a lot of friends wrestle from Australia. A lot of friends from Australia.
I mean, that'd be huge for Jonah. I would love that for him.
Exactly. Some of them are monsters.
Oh my God, Jonah and Cobb is a tag team. Listen, that stable's great, except for the guy who formed it.
September 26th, I think he said. That's what it is. So that's the date he put down.
Okay, I think that's the start of G1.
There it goes.
He's not going to be in G1.
Nah. But
yeah, G1 is starting, and the N1, which is Noah's G1, they're both starting at the same time, and I'm tired already.
Man, good luck. Let the wrestling forces be with you, my brother.
Yeah, I gotta stop playing as many video games and start watching more wrestling.
Speaking of video games, hey guys, look, very soon, me and Pingo are gonna have Super Stream Sundays, where right before THS Wrestling, we're gonna stream some video games.
Yeah.
Now we have more information coming on that later, but we just figured it out, and it was great. I think Super Stream Sundays is a great way to market our Sunday nights of talking to you, party people. Shout out Matthew. I hope dinner with your parents are great. And thank you for the because I believe you're a Lions fan as well. So thank you for the quarterback. Ooh. Really appreciate it.
Wait, no, is he a Packers fan? Or is that?
Oh no, he is a Packers fan. He is a Packers fan. He is a. Oh my God, you guys had a rough day. Rough. But yeah, man. I was Super Stream Sundays is gonna be a great thing.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it up pretty soon. Probably play some show.
We gotta play some games.
We got the games.
The problem with show is we don't know how long the game is gonna be.
True. We don't. We'll figure it out though. Guys, thanks for joining us. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, youtube.com/that#show TV, twitch.tv/that#show, and then instagram.com/THS.wrestling. And then you can follow Neeson and myself right over there. On the socials. But most importantly, Derek, thanks for joining us. Matthew, thanks for joining us. D-Star, I believe. D-Star, I don't know if we've seen you in the chat before, but welcome and come back and join us next week. That's it for us, and we will talk to you guys next weekend. See ya.
You're not gonna do it?
Right. I'm sorry, I forgot. Everyone, when someone tells you that you don't do the outro right, sometimes you forget to do it because you're just like, I don't want to do it. What if I'm doing it wrong? Why would I do it at all? But I think what is most importantly, guys, is that you should head on over to that#show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, Tegan.